So while I was in vacation in Poland, I came across two different Lego antiquary stores in two different cities. One of them was in Warsaw, the other one was in Gdansk. And of course, as you can see, I did not waste my opportunity, so today I'm gonna share with you the experience from both of these stores and what I got from each one, how much it cost, and what kind of variety they had. I'm also gonna include the address of both stores in the description of the video. Let's get started. Okay, so the first store was in Warsaw, of course, and it was in a metro station with a bunch of other shops. There was a comic book store, but yeah, what we are interested in is the Lego Antiquary store, obviously. It was a pretty small place. One half was books, which I did not examine because I was not interested in books. But yeah, one half was the books and the other half was Lego. Uh, and obviously they did not have they had much more Lego system than Lego Technic, but they still had some Lego Technic. Among others, they had two remote controlled off-road buggies from 2021 and two track tracers from 2018. They had an Arctic Explorer from 2015, which is what I would have got, but I didn't have space in my luggage, and it was also double the price of this handsome guy here. So what is this? What is this set? Well, it is 42005 from 2013. The main reason I got this set is for these ball joints, which I've been seeing in a lot of mocks used for live axles, or hell, you can even use them for oscillating double drivetrains, where you basically have this part of the ball joint act as a bevel gear housing, which is way more heavy duty than the regular black one, but that purpose is not very common. It's mainly just used for live axles like this. The ball joint is also known as the torque tube, and recently Lego has been using it less and less because it's bulky, it takes up a lot of space, and it can cause wear on the shock absorbers because these have been at an angle for a very long time and the weight of the set has been pressing on them for more than 10 years if the set was actually produced in 2013. So the shock absorbers are bent, as you can see. All except one of them, this one. So maybe that's the reason they stopped using them, I'm not sure, but I'm still pretty sure that these will be useful in some of my future mocks. And as you could hear, the bent shock absorbers make some squeaking noises. I also got them for the tires because it was the tires are pretty good. They are the same size as the Zetros tires, but I've noticed that they're exceptionally soft. I think they're softer than Zetros tires, which usually means higher traction, but I'm not sure because Racing Brick tested the Zetros with the normal tires and a bunch of others, including these, and the Zetros tires still perform the best. So I'm not sure if that makes any sense, but I guess we'll see. And now let's move on to the issues with this set. First of all, as you can hear, in steering, there's some uh, there's some squeaking and there's some almost like the system is briefly stuck and then released, and there's some uh, clanking sounds in the steering system. This is most likely because of the knob gears, which only have 4 teeth with large spacings in between them, and that causes them to have a quite jerky motion if they are not lubricated properly. That is also why you want to avoid using them for drivetrain high-powered models, but this is not a high-powered model and it's not used for the drivetrain, so it might be just from old age. And as for the set itself, I don't really care about the model. I got it for the parts as I mentioned. But yeah, the model does not look the most realistic because for one it does not have the tractor tires, and for two, I mean, most tractors are in general like a bit of silly proportions. So I guess I can't blame Lego for their set looking also a little bit silly. Now, moving on to the motors that I got. So I got two power functions medium motors, one powered up medium motor, and one power functions large motor. And these two medium motors, I don't very much use power functions medium motors in my builds, mainly because I usually use the buoys 3.0, sorry, and that one only has two power function ports, and most cases both of them are used by boost motors, so there ends up being no ports for these. But in case I'm using some powered up motors for main functions like drive and steering, these ports are left free for these motors. And up until very recently I actually had three of these, but then two of them died out of nowhere. So now I'm only left with one, and I got these two to compensate for the two that died. This one is a powered up medium motor, and I already have one of them, but I thought that another one would be pretty useful for stuff like two-speed gearboxes where I don't have space for the better option, which is powered up large motor, which has a servo function, and that allows me to simply control the gears in 90-degree intervals, but sometimes I just don't have space for that, so I think this one would be pretty useful in addition to the one that I already have. This one is a power functions large motor, which I don't use that much, mainly because I noticed that my old one had a little bit of a mechanical problem, in a way that it would first work normally and then the torque would just lower by a lot. I'm not sure why this happens because it in general just happens out of absolutely nowhere. I don't put it to a lot of stress. It just kind of behaves weird. So I hope that this one performs a little bit better. So that's what I got in the store in Warsaw, and I think the variety was pretty good. The whole haul cost me 490 zloty, which is about 115 euros, if I'm not mistaken. This set cost me 200. These motors were 70 each. These were both 80. Moving on to what I got in the store in Gdansk. Now this store was actually a lot larger. They had a bigger variety of Technic sets. They had the Big Red, they had the Mercedes ARX, they had the Lamborghini Sian, and they also had the Bugatti Chiron and a bunch of other Technic sets that I'm not gonna name right now because it's gonna take way too long. And here's what I got from them. Never mind these. I got 4 tires and 2 linear actuators. Now the reason I got these tires, when these ones are obviously superior, is because I already had 4 of these tires, and I wanted to have a set of medium scale tires with more than 4, which would not be possible if I only got these tires, because these are the only ones I have, and these ones I should have 4 more of them. And unfortunately they did not sell these ones by themselves. They only sold these and some smaller ones, so I think this was the best option. I also got these 2 linear actuators because at the moment I had 3 before this, and now I have 5 of them, which is gonna enable me to make some pretty interesting things like a dual crane. Basically, you have two crane booms that are connected by some sort of pole, and there is a winch on there. It's more stable than a regular crane, and it's used for some operations. For example, one Soviet vehicle used it for picking up astronauts after landing in difficult terrain. Um, so I might build something similar, but I just don't know the purpose. What would it be using for in real life? And frankly, I don't care. I just want to build interesting stuff with dual cranes. So that's what I got, and all of this cost me 120 Polish zloty. I also don't have any footage from the store in Warsaw, but I do have some of the footage from the store in Gdansk. I did not film every part of the store because I didn't want to make the video too long, but here we go.